Thank you. Good evening. My name's Irene Austin. I'm the chair of what was Herts Welcome Syrian Families, now Herts Welcome Refugees, and I'm also a volunteer.
My name's Kate Scott. I'm the area convener for the Coram area of Herts Welcomes Refugees, and I'm also a volunteer.
Good evening, I'm Iman Konani. I'm from Syria. I came here as a refugee 2 years ago.
Imagine you had come to a new country fleeing from this. How do you think you would feel? Imagine you'd come here not being able to speak any of the native language. If you were one of these people, how would you feel? I know how I'd feel. I'd feel relieved that I was somewhere safe, but saddened, frustrated, lonely, isolated. Also, you're watching this and you want to help, but you don't know how. Let me tell you the story of one of our families. I've changed the names. Cameron had a successful carpentry business in Syria. Amma and Khalil were doing well at school, heading for further education. Ines was very happy looking after her family. Their town was bombed like the one you saw, and they were threatened by the regime. In fear of their lives, they fled to Lebanon, but they weren't safe there either. Because of health problems, they were accepted by the government's resettlement scheme started off for Syrian families. They arrived in England, they'd lost everything. Cameron and Ines had no English. Amma and Khalil with completely disrupted education. We wanted to help. We wanted Hertfordshire to participate in this resettlement scheme. Never done it, Hertfordshire, before. We set ourselves as an organisation, at that stage not a charity. So we lobbied and we lobbied. And now we have 54 families spread out across 9 districts, from Letchworth to Rickmansworth, to Ware, to Hemel, St Albans. Problem is there's no refugee communities there. And so that is why we have now 50, there's 200 people, men, women and children. We have 50 volunteers, more or less, and we are all volunteers apart from our part-time volunteer coordinator. Now, language is the key to integration. When we talk to the families about what they wanted, through our Syrian trustee who's sitting down here, about what they wanted, as well as practical help, the families really wanted a chance to practice their English in an informal setting, not just in a big class, and engage with the community. And also we had lots of people coming forward, volunteers, wanting to do something practical to help.
So, to respond to those needs, we set up our language support and befriender network. We realised that we couldn't operate this network effectively across Hertfordshire without having a coordinator in place. And that's how Caroline, who's in the audience here, came to be appointed as our coordinator. The network does a variety of things. I'm going to talk to you about the aspect of its work that I'm most closely involved with. Caroline, our coordinator, one of the functions that she does for us is that she matches those refugees who want to improve their English in this practical way with volunteers who are keen to help. Caroline will talk to both the person who wants to learn and the volunteer, find out what they really need, and she'll put them together. She'll introduce them. They will start to get on. Caroline also provides training and ongoing support for our volunteers, so it's not as though people are just matched up and left. It's an ongoing support. Can I tell you a bit about my experience as a volunteer? I meet up with a Syrian lady who's been here with her family for 2 years. She goes to college and she works hard at the ESOL classes, ESOL being English for speakers of other languages. But what she's lacking is the opportunity to speak English and to operate in the sort of practical everyday circumstances. So we get together on a weekly basis and we share experiences, and I get a lot out of it, and I hope that I'm helping her.
Imam, can you tell me how you gained by having a volunteer, what you and others have gained?
For me, it was very important to have someone to help me practice my English, so I do feel more confident. 2 years ago, I could not stand here to talk as now, and all my friends feel the same.
Okay, so help us by raising money for us tonight to help be responsive to the language needs of our network. We need to build and develop our volunteer network. We're a unique charity working in this way across Hertfordshire. Our funder, having a volunteer coordinator is our biggest overhead, so we want funding for that tonight. So, just please help us to achieve this, and this is what Anna has said, and help others like Imam in the same way.